Hey guys and gals, let's finish up the Hogwarts Castle and Grounds by LEGO Harry Potter. This is set number 76419, contains 2,660 bricks, retails for $169.99. The set was provided by the LEGO Group for early review. And yes, it's starting to look like the picture in a way, except it's missing some stuff. We haven't quite finished it up yet. So that now is what we're going to be doing. And remember in the last installment we did 4 bags. We only have 3 bags left. Bags 20, 21, and 22. So let me get these other ones out of the way. This bag 20 all ready to go. And so far I'm pretty pleased. Now there's one thing I forgot to do, and you probably already can guess it, is the turntable. I forgot to put that in there. I had to do a quick thumbnail real quick of the build. And yeah, I'm starting to feel fatigued out on doing sets already, and it's starting to come apart. Just don't pick it up from the corners. Okay, so this is why I always encourage these builds being on something that you can rotate around and stuff like that. Okay. Well, let's begin with bag 20. And no, I have not worked on the Michael Myers house, sadly. I'm about 60% done with building guide number 2. And, well, with the rough guide. And, you know, some things have suddenly came up. One of them, which is pretty cool, actually. I just got done editing part 4 of the other build, and I'm starting to edit the review footage that I did in the 4K camera. So far I've just done the intro, and it looks pretty good. So I got like 6 scenes. 1 scene survived. And yeah, let me get the building guide here. And let's begin. So any of you heard about that LEGO Insiders program? I guess it's LEGO's new VIP thing. And they were talking even about it on the Ambassador thing, and I was kind of skeptical about it. I was like, I don't know. You know, and one of my buddies, we were on a Discord call, and he's like, Jay, have you been scanning your manuals? I'm like, no. You know, does that even work? He goes, yes, you need to start scanning your manuals now. And I was like, well, what would be the point of that? He goes, you get VIP points. I'm like, really? He goes, yeah, registering your sets. I was like, really? So it's a manual like this, and there's usually a QR code here at the bottom right. You scan that with your smart device. And if you have a VIP account, you can actually redeem points for those. I don't know what the significance is. I don't know if LEGO's tracking sets or whatever, but I did just that. And yeah, I've already done 1 big giant box. I hoard all my manuals. I keep them because of the parts list, and they're good reference guides for, you know, if I forget how to build something, or I want to build a portion of a build and integrate it in my own models, I do that. So I've been playing around with this thing, and you know, you can go all the way up to getting a $100 voucher for a purchase. And I thought, wow, I could use that for buying parts, you know, buying some more parts for this stuff here. All right, I'm putting all the printed ones up here. So if any of you guys and gals have the VIP thing, start scanning. It takes time. And my friends like, use a web browser. Don't use the app, because you'll have to solve a math problem every time. So, and if you're like me and you've been hoarding up your building guides for quite some time, there you go. I've been hoarding guides up just because, like, for that purpose, to preserve the ideas and stuff. So, that having been said, I encourage it. So if you got your building guides that you've been hoarding up like I have, then there you go. I've been scanning a good chunk of mine to their thing, and I think everybody's trying to get the $100 gift card now. You can only do it once too, so you can't just take your manual and do it several times. I tried it to see what would happen. Yeah, you can't do that. And no need to cheat anyways. So now I can use the VIP stuff for buying bricks for more custom stuff, more tutorials. And so I would encourage everybody to do that as promptly as possible. Well, by the time this video is released, we don't know. Yeah, I swapped memory cards. I've been editing a lot of the stuff here. Well, Jay, can I use the digital guide? No, they don't have them in the digital guides. I even looked online too. So I've been thinking about a long time just backing all my building guides up in digital form, because you can just download them for free from Lego, but no, you actually have to have the physical building guide. But I have a lot of my guides. Like I said, I keep them for a parts list or references and all that stuff. So that's why I always say don't throw out your building guides. They're really helpful for building things. Because I may want to take a portion of this and build something else out of it here. That goes there. So just look around for some building guides in your collection. You should be ready to go. I know there's some that have been going on Go trying to find manual images of manuals and stuff. I'm like, no, I'd just rather do it from my own collection because I got a bunch. I don't, like I said, I don't throw away my building guides. I just keep them. They're just, like I said, good source for looking at parts or a certain excerpt of a build that I want to recall. Why do you think I want to back up my builds on digital format? So I don't have to watch a video and try to figure out what I did. So yeah, if you're like me and you go, oh, it just takes too much time, yeah, it's worth your time. Just make sure you have some time to set aside to scan all your guides in. And I know I'm a little late on the news stuff, but you know, it's worth it. If you can save even $20 on an order, hey, every little bit helps. What are we building here? It's like a dumpster or something. I don't know what that is. So I'm hoping tonight, because now it's the 25th of August 2023, I want to get this set done and reviewed. Am I going to review it in 4K? Something like this, probably not. If we're going to get mostly up close and personal with it too. Okay, let's move these out of the way here. Of course, I forgot. My bad. Boy, that thing really is sounding kind of sick, huh? Let me make sure here. Yeah, it's this is not the best turntable, but hey, it works for what I need it for. So yeah, that's what I've been busy doing, scanning building guides and putting them, you know, registering my sets. And this, is there supposed to be another side to this? I think it's supposed to rest right on that bridge there. Yeah, Yeah, of course you're not going to spin, huh? Every time I need to get in there, you can. It's right in there. I don't want it that close to the edge. We'll say that for after the review. So, like I said, I'm doing in the last installment, I'd like to get done with that Michael Myers house, at least get the parts list done this weekend. Because once I get that done and the cover page done, then the tedious part will begin as I go and inspect each page of the manual and make sure I can easily follow it. And I'll see if I can rebuild a copy of that house. I think a lot of people will probably like that. I'm not getting more requests for it today. So, as long as I'm getting requests for a build, I'll do it. Okay. So I'm hoping by mid-September to have that building guide done and ready to go. Okay, we are going to need 4 of these here. Let's put the palisade brick in here first. Oh, let's just put them both in. It has been so humid here. It's a bedside build too. After all this, I'm going to hit the sack. I'm done for the week. So that's what we're doing there. We're about 65–70% done with the build. Okay. Alright, so looks like we're just adding some little pieces here and there. I think these are supposed to be like some kind of a bush. Would have been easier if we put these in beforehand. There we go. No interesting stories to tell other than the insiders thing, and then just a quick update on what I've been doing on the Myers home, but that's it. And I'm hoping to... Lego, we made a boo-boo here. I'll show you. That, what do you see here? They're putting this piece in here twice. At first I thought it was something on the top here, but no. Yeah. You know, when you edit your own building guides, you will spot all those mistakes. Like, that's just a classic typo. And that right there is that's the kind of stuff that I look for. And I looked at that and I had to question myself. You don't ever want to do that, especially if you're selling these guides or you're selling a set for them. Yeah, this thing's going to get kind of knocked around here. This goes right in here. Now you notice I just set them in there before I press them down. If I'm not sure, that's what I'm doing first, before I commit. Because if you're not sure, you don't want to have to rip half of it apart. Okay, it's not a solid, it's an arch that goes in there. Found a window. So, yeah. Yeah, now once I get all these manuals scanned, I'm just going to go ahead and make a parts run. Buy some parts for the thing. I guess it hangs over like that, huh? And trying to think here, what else do I have? And let's say the scrapey. Okay, it goes right there, but we got a hole there. Did I miss something on the last step or no? Okay, there's supposed to be a 1x1 plate here. I was looking at that thinking there should not be a hole there. I did not want to go down in there. Okay. And I'm missing a 1x2 in there I forgot to put in. And something that goes on the front of that too. Whoops, man, I'm being sloppy, huh? There we go. And then now, once we're done with that, it goes in. Then we move on to the next page. It's only got 3 bags left. I decided to do it like this so I could hurry up and get it done and start working on my own custom stuff here. Like I said, I want to get onto that Michael Myers house this weekend and start getting that project out of here. Is that supposed to be a hole there? Yeah. Maybe that's the hole for the little chihuahua that comes out and greets you when you're arriving, huh? Okay. And this goes right here. Yeah, this kind of reminds me like of going to like to a college. Fancy, that's what it is. It's a college for wizards. Witches and wizards. What they do? Wicca and wizardry. I think I got it right. It goes like that. I guess you can walk through those little pillars, huh? Alright, we got one more here to make. So that means the next thumbnail I do will be wrapping up the project here. This one goes right here. And we have some studs. A stud. The A stud goes here. Well, that would have been easier before we put all this stuff in there, huh? Now, if you can't get that in there, you can either use some hemostats or a brick. I don't know. Well, I got it in anyways. I think that's it for for bag 20 because that's what we have remaining. Alright, now let's see what we have in here. Pretty much the same colors you've been seeing before, except that's got some transparent pieces in there. I don't know what we're building next. We won't know until we do. And I just brought in another bin of building guides in here that I gotta... I mean, I could have done it out there in the workshop, but it's kind of warm out there and I don't want to spend all that time doing that. Alright. Okay, let's get going here. And got lots of transparent 1x1 and 1x2 plates and slopes. Yeah, but you don't understand how excited I am about getting this done. First we gotta hunt for all the small stuff, which the whole set is just pretty much full of. Okay, I found one plate. Can you see what I'm doing? Yes, you can. And as far as for the last couple of videos, I actually have more ideas than I can share. So all that means is that I'm going to have more inventory for the year's videos than I will be able to share with you for the year. I mean, I could release them all at once, but you know, I don't want to saturate my YouTube channel with nothing but videos that, you know, some people do 3, 4, 5, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 100,000 videos a day. And I'm just like, it gets spammy at that point, and I don't want to deal with it. There's the big YouTubers, that's how they get popular, is they have all that time. And I'm like, well, do I want to release a summer video? Summer's almost over. Had some leftovers. Oh, that makes a great little propane tank. Do I want to waste my time doing that? No. So, looking for another 1x1 plate. There's so many plates in here, it's not even funny. But I got to thinking more and more, I think it'd be kind of cool just to... pretty soon you'll be able to build my own stuff. That's kind of what I'm shooting for. And tutorials were just a way to do it back in the day, but now you can purchase the guides and build whenever you want. Whatever you want, whenever you want. And then I can build along with you too. I had one guy say, well, are you going to pay, you're going to make us buy that, or are you going to buy them too? I'm like, well, I'm doing the work myself, so I think that's my compensation there. Okay, I think these are just like little towers. They just tack in there. What does that look like on the front? Clunkety, clunk, clunk, clunk. I don't know. All right. Let's make sure we got all those parts that we did. So I just really want to get this out of here today. And for the most part, it is a relaxing build. It's not really repetitious. It's just tedious because for over 2,600 pieces, this is a very small model. It's micro scaled, so it's not really meant to be a playable model. We were talking about micro builds on Discord. We were talking about the old Minecraft. I said, you guys like those old Minecraft builds? Those micro builds are like, oh, you couldn't really do anything with those. And that goes right in between there. I'm like, yeah, I just was never a fan of those micro builds. You know, they weren't all that exciting. So thank goodness I got all the micro builds. You know, Now I'm getting done here. Wait. We're supposed to put 5, not 6. Ooh. All right. So when I do the tour on this, I'm going to let it be known I don't know anything really about the Harry Potter stuff. But still, it's still kind of cool to look at, even if you're not into the Harry Potter. Some people just buy things because it looks cool. It'd be nice to put it on display. So that's what I'm going to be looking at the set more for. Okay, we need 6 of these. All right. And goes right here. Now you really got to muscle those down in there to get this to, we've been working in this corner. And I think we're building, let me put this stuff over here. I think we're working on this little corner tower next. Okay, I thought maybe I was missing something. No, I'm really messing up. This plate is not supposed to go on the bottom, it's supposed to go on the top. See, even I make mistakes. Why? Because perfect people make mistakes. And I think this goes here. That's exactly where it goes. Okay. And that's right there. Hogwarts is a huge castle where it can be tricky to find your way. But did you know that the castle has 142 staircases? With staircases constantly changing, it doesn't make it easier to find your way around. No, it does not. Now we're changing gears. So what are we building here? I have no clue. And from what I can tell, I'm going to rotate this thing around now, because it looks like we are working back in this corner here. It looks like it's like a bunch of greenhouses or sunrooms. Depends on what you want, how you want to look at it. Yeah, I may have to really sit down and watch Harry Potter. I mean, I have them on my Plex server, but I've never really watched them. Yep, clunkety clunk. And this goes right here with a little bit of a hole here. So what does that even do there? Is that where they're growing their product at? Maybe. Looks like little ice cubes of broken glass. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. I got plenty of transparent, clear stuff that I've been kind of hoarding up. And then these go right in here. All right, you may be tempted. They're supposed to go right in the middle, one right there, and I think there's one right there. And then well, we'll find a 1x1 plate here eventually. We got to get through all the ice cubes. Ice cubes, what am I saying? They probably already have all melted by now. Throw an ice cube on a piece of hot pavement and it's 120 degrees. Yeah, it doesn't last too long. Melts pretty quickly. All right. And sure I got everything lined up there. Okay, does that sit there, or we want it offset here? So there's actually one brick in or one stud in between there. Okay, where does this go? Right here. All right. What is that? The cannon? The kids who are trying to escape. So I guess there's going to be holes down in there, huh? That's where they throw the magic wands at when they're done with class. So the kids can't win Gonda Leviosa one another. Yeah, you should know a lot about Harry Potter. Now, I played the Harry Potter game for the PlayStation. The graphics on it are kind of just... they're kind of primitive, but then again... Wait. We're supposed to... Okay, we're not supposed to put two of these. You're supposed to put one underneath. And the graphics are primitive, but the gameplay is pretty good. I just kind of wish that it was more like up to date. Anytime you find a kind of a cool game to play, the graphics are just never up to date enough. Let's start pulling out all the stuff that we may need later on. And looks like these go in front of here. Yeah, our babies, we were on the Discord call, and a friend of mine was like, you need to come and go to this Lego convention. I'm like, dude, that's like half a day's drive for me. I kind of wish I could, but I can't take anything. I can't take off right now. I'm not taking off to go into a city right now. Well, it's very hard to get your hand in there, but so if you have adult hands, it's going to be a little bit of a challenge for you. I mean, I don't think I can handle being around that and being around that kind of that mass amount of people. Just looking at Lego bricks all day. You know, I do this. This is just a hobby of mine. You know, this is just something to do to kind of kill some time. When you think you're done, you're not done. Gotta put something there now. Make sure your thing's sticking out on the side. I see some more of those sand green gems, so that tells me that these are going to be used for in here, probably for bushes or hedges. There's some studs in there, so I'm assuming that those are going to be caked over, although I could just check the front of the box. Okay, it looks like almost we're going to be attaching some stuff here. We're getting close. We're about 85%, maybe close to 90% done with this book. Okay, it's the other way around. Just need to make 2 of these. All right, well, I got more of these. So what am I going to do with VIP points? You know, I guess I can get some more parts. What kind of parts? I don't know. I wish I can just say, what do you guys want to see? You know, I think the main thing is you guys want to see bigger, like, houses and stuff. Basically tours of big builds. And I may use it to get some bricks. I like building in exotic colors, so I may do that too. Too bad I can't use that stuff on Bricklink, then I can get some vintage stuff. What are these for? this one skips here. Wait, hold on. I'm making a boo-boo here. First things first, this one goes here. I know I'm covering it up. And then that one goes there. Oh, we just got to build some 1x1s. Okay. Yep, if you are not a fan of these little parts, I don't blame you. Because you look at a micro build, it looks like we haven't done anything throughout the time we've been working on this. Like, I'm looking at it now going, where is the time gone? Like, what am I doing here, you know? I mean, I would say those are solar panels, but I think that's a greenhouse. And I think I may have skipped a page here. And the reason why I'm saying that is, yeah. No, I got this right. I got that one there. Okay, I did skip a page. Let me put this tile in there to mark my spot. All right. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm just going to bluntly say it, you can easily get lost in this build. No, I don't grade on that because sometimes you want to have a puzzle. Some people want a challenge and I don't want to ruin it for them. All right, so this one goes here, and there's a special one that goes on this side here. That. So I think there's something like a fence or something that goes on there. And we did all that. And this must be the observatory then. I like those transparent dome bricks. Those are cool. Okay. Now we have to start putting the tiles around. So this is actually a fence. And then we'll put some around here. There's a 3 that goes here. Then a 2. All right, I'm going to have to rotate it. I can't. Boy, that is starting to cave in. All right, it's not very pretty, but not very stable there either. And this one goes here. You're going to have to wiggle that one in a little bit. All right. And then the hedges. All right, so we got 3 of these remaining, and then we have 2 of the other dark green ones. So I'm going to focus from here. Remember the green, these go on the nougat plates. And the dark green ones go on the dark brown, or earth green goes on dark brown, like that. And that right there is not too bad, huh? We still got one more bag left, and this is what we have remaining here. And we have something to observe here real quick. The greenhouses are where Professor Sprout, head of the Hogwarts herbology department, guides students safely through the care and use of magical plants. Now, if only everyone would use their earmuffs. Oh. Well, are they really growing what they're saying they're growing, or is there something else we need to be aware of, huh? And we finally have bag 22, and this one's got some different pieces than what you normally would see in here. And don't worry, I'll show you. I'll show you some pieces as I'm pulling them out. Any part of interest is I'm combining these now. Yeah, so I go into a lot of the older builds or the older unboxings. I think maybe we're going to try 1,000. And if it seems like that's still too many pieces to unbox, I'm going to drop it slowly down until I get to a comfortable number. I don't want unboxings to be an hour or so long. It should only be no more than about 10 or 15 minutes. And then the unboxings will be, on this set, will be like what we're doing here. It's a lot easier to manage too. Now the first thing I notice is this Pearl Gold minifigure stand. Remember everybody was collecting Mr. Gold? Yeah. Okay, so I'm finding parts for the figure. But what we're going to do is we're going to start setting things off to the side here. Transparent, clear 1x2 45-degree slopes. And I guess we can start on the build here. I think we're going to be focusing right here on this clip. So now, let's start building here. And then I'll continue on pulling out parts that may be of interest to us. If you like the unboxings like this, please kindly let me know. It just makes it better. I'm actually saving myself time. It's just a lot better all around. Okay. Dan, if you're watching this, you'll be happy. There's some bionicle fingers in here. I found one. They give you a lot of these, huh? Oh, 45-degree 1x2 slopes. Oh, a transparent clear headlight brick. One of those extension things. We got a white leaf piece. Found a golden wizard's hat. It's printed. All right, I'm looking for the thing that goes inside this. It's a stick with holder. In fact, I can't even find it in here. I have like a whole large drawer full of those. There's the torso. And I've got that metallic look to it. Printing on both front and back. Looks like it's just a hoodie, just in gold. Okay, it's got to be in here somewhere. Yeah, I don't even see it in here. I see one in gold. The one they're showing is like, maybe I'm looking at the wrong color though. Maybe it's brown. I was looking for black. It looks like it's brown to me. All right, well, let's start. There it is. All right. Remember, it's the first bag. First few pieces, they take forever to do. And now we take two stems. Okay, I see what we're doing here. All right. That fits kind of loose in there. Some kind of deadwood tree or something. It doesn't look too friendly. And they show that thing going straight up, but I'm trying to rotate mine where it does that, but seems like it's not. I don't think it's meant to go straight up. Well, that's kind of cute. You remember that that old car that they were driving? They flew it into a tree. Remember, I had to play the video game, and I kept wasting time trying to do that. There was a scene you were trying to race the train or something like that. Now I remember that old blue car. It's like, if that was today, that'd be a waste of a good car. There we go. And then how they made this car, they just did this. I found the head to the minifigure. Okay, I gotta find a roller skate now. Let's put the roller skate in there. And there's the little car. And the little car just gets thrown in the tree. The tree's gonna eat the car like it did Robbie in Poltergeist. I mean, we gotta reference some scary movies in here. That tree that broke into the kids' room and stole Robbie right out of bed while Aunt Carol Ann was getting sucked into the closet. Oh man, I liked that movie when I was a kid. Some people, it's still kind of scary today. There we go. All right. So that's their parking lot there. So you park in the tree. And let's see right here. The Womping Willow was planted to give Professor Lupin a safe escape during his full moon werewolf episodes. It hides a secret tunnel leading to the Shrieking Shack, where Lupin would stay until he transformed back into human form. I don't know. It looks like the sedan was trying to get in there too. Maybe the sedan was going to transform into a ghost or something. We don't know. And then we got to make 3 of these. Gotta like my my movie references. Guys and gals, I gotta have fun with these. It's what we're supposed to do here. I don't want to just make these reviews so boring. I'll have to reference Poltergeist in the review because that's what it reminds me of. That's if I can remember. And then this one goes here. I think there's something that goes here, like a ship or something. But we're just putting rocks and stuff in here now. Yeah, this designer, I don't think I pronounced his name correctly when I was doing the initial unboxing though, but his builds are a little better than that last one I did. The one that took 5 people to figure out what they were building. With my building guides, you only get just me building it. You know it's my work. I got one more to put in there, and that's right here. We got a slope to put back in there. 2 headlight bricks. Let's put this little one in here first. It's just easier to start my way and work my way back. Okay, now let's build a little pirate ship. A little micro build here. Oh no, reddish brown, it's gonna break. I still get those comments from time to time. Jay, they've already fixed it. I'm like, oh, I'm still wary on using that color. Oh, you're just using the old pieces. I'm like, well, it's enough to scare me away from that color. That's why, like in the Michael Myers house, I changed the reddish brown floor, or the hardwood floors and the stairs and stuff. The treads, or the things for the stairs, I changed them into the medium nougat instead. Makes the interior a bit brighter, and I don't have to worry about things breaking. I'm just debating if I should save myself some time and just put the final review at the very end of this one and just clone it. I forgot to put a plate in there. Usually I use these for my notes anyways, huh? Well, we'll just do it rough. Wow. Probably the only blue I've seen in here, except for the dark stuff that's all buried. Yeah, we're going to have some fun doing the tour on this one here. I mean, when you can have fun with a set, it's not a bad build experience at all. It's just tedious. Am I bored with it? Well, I got other things I want to do, but it wasn't like I threw away my time. And if you feel like you haven't thrown away your time, it's a pretty decent build. I need to find two of those, and I only see one in here. Okay, well, let's start pulling things out until we find it. There it is. Yeah, the next thing I'm building is actually going to be a minifig scaled item. You know what, if you made that just a little stud wider, it'd make a great little carnival ride or even a float. And gold stud flower. Usually I separate all my gold pieces when I'm doing parts, but for some reason I keep the stud flowers and with the regular flowers, like with the other stud flowers. Gold pieces are just cool to look at. When I was a kid, they weren't dipped like this. They were just, or they weren't molded. It was just Lego would provide them painted, and the finish would rub off. Have I ever had finish rub off of any of my bricks? No. It must be pretty good stuff, durable stuff that they're using. But it's just that first impressions, usually that's what happens. So that's dark red. Headlight brick. I think it's the 3 here. That just seems awfully short. We got a 6, but I don't think that goes in there yet. Alright, here we got one of these. This must be the flag or something, I don't know. At the telescope. And it goes like that. Alright. Okay. The magical Durmstang Ship was used to travel between Durmstang Institute and Hogwarts for the Triwizard Tournament. But have you ever wondered how the ship got from the North Sea into the Black Lake? No, I never thought about that. It probably has wings and it flew. No, it's those spirits from Poltergeist. It just reaches in there. A hand just comes out and just picks it up and puts it on the other side. I'm in the mood to watch that movie. Matter of fact, I should just do that. That'd be a good little Halloween mock. Dump a bunch of skeletons in a muddy pool. And what's her name? Diane, and have her swim in there. Fall in the muddy pool. All the skeletons come up after her. I'd have to find a really good minifigure with a terrified look on her face. Jay, that's going to be really bad for the kids. Yeah, well, I watched those horror flicks when I was like 6 or 7 and it didn't bother me. Because I was told that it was pretend, didn't happen, and that was the end of that. Buddy, you always wonder though. Get into a pool, just be careful. If you can't see the bottom, it's like a muddy pool. You may want to get out of that quick. This little boat here, I'm kind of afraid I'm going to break it. Not just because we're using brittle colors. It's just, I don't know, it just feels kind of... I don't think they gave us the right size in here. Maybe they did. Hard to say. Alright, and the ship snaps here. Where does it sit? Or it just sits in there? It just doesn't, it just sits. Oh, it just holds right in here. Let me move this crap out of the way and I'll show you. It just sits in there. I mean, you just pull it out, but it just kind of rests in there. Although theirs is not as tilted as much as mine, but oh, wait a minute, it goes in that holder. There we go. Now there it is. I thought it just rests in there. The Durmstang Ship arrived at the lake through a magical shortcut created between the lake and other bodies of water. Truly magical. Oh. So it wouldn't work if you're in the bathtub or the muddy swimming pool with the skeletons coming after you? So it's special? Okay. And then now... looks like we're just adding in the last few pieces in here now, so... probably the radio antennas so they can flag down the ships. Say it's okay to land in the muddy swimming pool. Yeah, I want to have some fun with this, but I'm afraid someone's going to take it seriously, but I may just do it anyways. Yeah, somebody gets a little bent out of shape, then so be it. And then we'll throw some other references in there, like the chessboard. I only see 2 of these. Okay, I see 3. Okay, I see 4. That's what we're putting together so far. I don't know what this does. It probably goes on that. Okay, let me slide this out of here so I can set this down. It's getting to be too many parts here. I'm kind of just want to... making sure here. I just want to get this done real quick so I can move on. Well, Jay, what are you going to work on? That magical body of water. The portal. The nether portal. The muddy swimming pool with the skeletons portal. So, looks like this fits on there like this. What in the heck is this ugly old thing, huh? Forgot to put a part on top, but still. Is it like supposed to be some kind of a car? Looks like a carriage. Oh wow! Oh, I thought that was gold oxygen tanks. That's just some beer, a braided beard. Braided beard, and no, I'm not going to do that. That reminds me, I still need to shave anyways. That's a chore that's boring. You also get some of these little white leaf pieces too. I may get a couple of those. I get another parts order. So I can, I don't know what I'm going to buy yet. This stuff feels like it's ready to break apart. And then this goes here. What is this goofy thing? I guess it is. Just some leaves flying this thing around and it attaches up here. There's supposed to be something that goes on the bottom because that doesn't feel awfully secure. Just making sure here. I did it right. I don't know, maybe it is in there all the way. There we go. Strange, huh? Well, this tells us what this thing is here then. The Pegasus of Beauxbatons Carriage is built with white Lego horn and leaf elements. Notice the reins, they are actually magically transformed candle holder. Oh, okay, so the rings are the candle holders. And then we got, wow, this is unusual, the minifigures at the very back of the book. Oh, this must be Merlin the Magician. Oh, the ghost that sucked up the kids into the closet. Oh, wait a minute. Do we need to put his beard on? Yeah, we do. I forgot to put his beard on. My bad. It's all mostly gold stuff now. I mean, that's pretty much what it is. And... well, no, there was one of these longer sticks for the ship. I'll fix that right now while I'm here. I mean, it's not going to be that hard to replace that, or is it? Well, I can't get it off, obviously. There we go. I saw one of these as long. They never had a one-to-one thing, so you don't even know what you were doing. And see, when I do my guides, I'm going to make sure that that's included because even I would have gotten lost. And I did on this one here. So the guide, I think the guide is not written very well. It's got some nice little tidbits about the build, but, you know. Okay, there's the braided thing. He's got his barbell so he can lift the weights. Gets himself extra muscle so he can drag all the kids from the closets into here. I kind of want to play that video game again. Have the socks, have the socks and the washing machine come and kill me. The Architect of Hogwarts Castle and Grounds was created exclusive for this set with a new beard element and Hogwarts model blueprint scroll in his hand. Blueprint scroll. Did I miss something? Let me make sure. Are you talking about the barbell? Well, trying not to yawn in everybody's face. I am determined to get this thing fully done tonight. And the reason being is, like I said, I want to get done with some building guides. I got a couple more mocks or tutorials I want to do. I want to start a house project because I really want to build something that's, something I've been tinkering around with. I just want to build it. And doing somebody else's ideas is not too much fun for me. And then he holds that contraption in his hand. All right. Well, there we go with the whole. The hands need to move, so you can't get this thing to snap in his hand. There you go. All right. The architect of Hogwarts Castle was active in the years around the turn of the 10th century. Not much is known about his life or other works. Well, we know one thing, though. He sits right here. It's about as much as we know, huh? All right. And we have this one piece here remains. I think it went to the boat. And I'm used to doing smaller builds. This is not quite that small. All right, so I think this went on the back here. Well, let me finger that out there real quick. All right, well, let's rip the whole thing out, why don't we? So you make one mistake and you get punished for it. All right. So I think I forgot this piece here. So now I'm just going to, now it doesn't move as much. And I think that's it here. Any more reading things that we got to do? I think that's it, but the page just feels awfully thick there. Yeah, they're stuck together. And here's the overhead shot of it right here. And yeah, mine looks like that. And that concludes the build installments on this model. Now, obviously, if you're watching the whole thing, this thing's not meant for play. So you can't just play with it here. And this is pretty much all the extra pieces we have remaining here, which is what you typically would find anyways in any modern Lego set. So let's dive right on into the quick 360 tour. And when I do the build, I'm just going to do this. No, not that fast actually, but I will just basically just point out, okay, here's your bridge and your, let me see if I can get this right. We got ourselves a little boathouse, the main hall, the quad. One of these is the Gryffindor tower, I can't remember. We got the main portion of the castle. Maybe it's the commons, we don't know, can't remember. And no, I'm not going to memorize the whole thing because that makes the reviews too scripted. I don't script my reviews. Just for myself, looking at this first time, not knowing much about it, it's a pretty interesting build. It's finished off. The only thing I wish is the base was a bit more sturdier. It just feels kind of flimsy here. Well, let's dive right on into the build quality, and I'm just going to say it's probably fair. Just because you really can't pick this up, things can get knocked off very easily. I've had a few pieces fall off, but not too bad. So the build quality is not too bad at all. Build experience, I'd say, was pretty good. It kept my interest throughout the build, just to kind of see how everything went together. So if you're not a fan of micro builds, this will probably not be up your alley, but it could change your outlook on micro builds pretty easily. And speaking of build quality, this thing here is still loose till this day. Whoops, the bridge is already coming apart right before the review. Well, let me get that back in there real quick. And yeah, I'd say the build quality on this thing is fair. See, there's just things can fall off very easily on here. The bridge is probably one of the worst here. So it doesn't have any play value at all. It just looks cool. It's just meant to be a display piece. The manual is hard to follow as well. That goes into the build experience too. You got some rooms down here. That shrine that's in here. The laboratory. But for the most part, though, it's not playable. It's not even a collaborative build either. Would have been nice if this was. And then you could have a few friends help you. This is meant for you to sit down and just build it slowly. So this is not something you can get done in a day. So it's just a very small, or it's a 2660 piece solo build. It's pretty big for what it is. You can't just divide this out. So for any Harry Potter fan, this is a really good score. You get the whole castle, just in micro-scaled form. And as far as from mock value, could you put this in a city? No. Could you make a mock out of it? I'm sure you can add more stuff around it, or even finish up this portion here of the land. But I wouldn't mess with it too much. So I'd say the only value that the set has is probably for parts. And that's pretty much what it is. It's just a display piece. So I'm going to say, with all the issues that I had in here, it was a fun build. The manual kind of made some parts really kind of questionable. And some parts fall off. That bridge is still kind of rickety, so once you get things together, that's it. I'm going to give it an 8.8 out of 10. Just reasons being that it is a non-playable model, it's non-collaborative, and it's just, things are just hacked together. It looks nice, but it's not something you want to play with or anything like that. And do I think the set's worth $169.99? For a non-playable model, no. For a parts pack, it's a bit pricey, but you do get a lot of pieces in here you could use for terrains, basically to finish off an existing build. Nothing really big. You get one gold minifigure, and that's it. And for me personally, though, it's a nice display piece for a Harry Potter fan, but for just somebody like myself, who's just an average builder, I would probably walk right past this. But I enjoy putting it together nonetheless. But I want to know what you guys and gals think of this set now that it's all done. Yeah, to me, I'm just glad to get it out of the way now. I mean, it was fun, but now I can get on to my own projects.